I have started the recording, so officially, good morning and welcome out to. Nope, that's not what I meant to do. What did I mean to do? I meant to get my platform. And officially welcome out. Oh my gosh, why can't I make this just stay? And there we go. Officially welcome out to the Market Watch Group Weekly Opening Bell. I am Scott. Here's the disclaimers. We're not brokers. We're not advisors. We don't give guidance. We don't give recommendation. This is for education and illustrative purposes only. You know the drill. Whoops, too fast. What are we doing today? Opening futures and news. We already looked at the opening futures. They're up. Pretty good. Right? I mean, not astounding. It's not 1%, but it's 0.6. It's better than a half. But all that is a starting point. It's good to see that the selling pressure, which closed the market Friday, is not opening the market today. But we could have the market open with buyers and then sell off and finish where we finished Friday, where we're like, okay, it's still going to, anything could happen, right? Anything could happen. We'll look at the economic calendar. We actually didn't look at that yesterday, I realize, and our market posture. So if you missed market posture yesterday, you can get a sense of what we did and why. We'll look at the calendar. Mindset for open trades. Yeah, I have a couple. I would assume you have a couple. If you held on to some bullish trades, this is helpful, most likely. We'll talk about the opening range, what the implications are. We'll look at our opportunity list, which is pretty strong. There's a good number of stocks that if this market does stabilize, we should have some signals. And the trading plan section of the week, I think I neglected to talk about that yesterday too. So I don't know what the hell's wrong with me, but this week we are working on routines. Routines is the word of the day. Daily, weekly, monthly, quarterly. That's it. This one's not a hard one. Routines. I like to break up my daily into before market open, like what we're doing right now. Then what are my during market hour routines? I have one around 10:30 my time I look into, and then I have one later in the last hour of the day. After market close, anytime from 4 o'clock Eastern until you go to bed, there's time to do your morning or evening routine. Weekly routines, we do a lot of those together. We do market posture together. We do some searching, some watch list maintenance. But these are all the routines that we're just like, what guides us? The basis of this section of your trading plan is simple. You are what you repeatedly do. Excellence, therefore, is a habit. So what you're doing is you're defining your daily and weekly habits with trading. What do you do every day to make sure that you don't miss it? All right. I'll say something about it again at the end, but since I missed it at the beginning or yesterday, I thought I should. All right, let's get through it. And let's get started. Let's take a look first and foremost. First and foremost, let me reload. Make sure all this stuff is fresh. So here you can see the S&P futures are up 0.69, the Dow 0.74, the NASDAQ 0.8, and then what? And then the Russell 0.08. 0.08. What's going on, Russell? We're always watching the battle between money flow into small caps and money flow into large caps, with an inclination towards money flow into small caps being representative of a higher appetite for risk as a general characteristic of the market. With that being said, if that's what we see today, more money flowing into the Dow, 0.74, than we Russell, well, we just have to be careful. Now, we don't see that on a daily basis where we're like, oh, that's it. This market's going to hell in a handbasket. So, yeah. As far as just the day-to-day go, it's curious. We're curious about that. Like, oh, interesting. But is it something that we need to be super concerned about? No, not necessarily so. What else is happening? We have an Apple iPhone 16 event. 16? God, I feel like I have like an 11. I don't know. Trump has lost $4 billion in Truth Social wipeout. Okay. There's still some in there, though, isn't there? DJT. Nope, that's not it. DJT. Down here around 17. I think it's open for him to sell soon, too, isn't it? Like, I think that if it's open for him and he starts tapping into it, that's going to drive this thing down even quicker. So very interesting. Not a lot of news I want you just to notice right off the bat, although I don't know why. Not a lot of news right off the bat. Wall Street eyes higher open on soft landing optimism. There's just not a lot of news right now. So let's go look at the economic calendar. What do we have going on today? Nothing. Wholesale inventories, consumer credit, not much there. NFIB optimism index, nobody cares. I'm just saying. Wednesday. I mean, here's the thing. We're a week and 2 days from the Fed meeting at this point. I think I need to do an update. To my system because it is running slow. Here we go. This browser's running faster, apparently. All right. 9 days. 9 days. What do we have coming up here? We're looking for September. Well, I got to tell you, nothing's running well. That's for sure. Here we go. And you'll notice that the odds, as they were starting to show closer to this 50 basis point possibility, I'm going to say no. I think we're all in agreement. 25 basis points is likely what we're going to see coming our way. Okay, that's great. That's fantastic. But we have CPI coming on Wednesday. Then PPI coming on Thursday. A minor consumer sentiment report. Really, that's it. That's the data that we have. So is there anything that looks like it would disrupt what is coming to us by way of the Fed and by way of the interest rate potential. And everything that we're seeing here says no. So, great. Okay. Posture. Market's going to open in 1 minute. For those of you who missed it, our posture dropped by 3/4. Is that a lot? Does that make us concerned? Sorry, let me go back. Does that make us concerned? No. Why? Because it didn't even from the 25th to last week, we gained 1 point. From last week to this week, we lost 3/4 of that. 1 step forward, 3/4 step back. Overall, still holding 4.5. That feels right. Let's go see the open as the market opens here. We don't care about DJT anymore. Here's the SPY. So there it is. What I meant when it said we're not going to get a tweezer hold on this because it didn't open down at the bottom. It gapped up. So if we open up here and then we have a sell-off today and it ends up down here, this would be a good example, everybody, of where volume, let's say it opens like it did today. It opened, right? Okay. I can't draw right now. I don't know why. But if it sells throughout the day, is this gonna work? Okay, yeah, here we go. And it comes down like this. Even if it has another above average volume day, what are we going to do? Give that to the sellers? No, it's only pushing it back where it was. The sellers already got credit for pushing it here. They don't get credit for pushing it here again. That's why if it gaps up and sells off, even if it has big volume, we would actually look at it and be like, that volume doesn't count. In order for volume to count, it has to finish down here where it's like, oh, we actually dropped. So I don't see this being what we would consider a seller's day since we've already, I mean, it could be, I don't know. We'll see. We'll come back and check in on this. We'll check in on the opening range. But as far as scoring goes, let me move this out of the way. I left this unchanged even though we dipped a little below it. The propensity to come back into it, I might change it next week. We'll see. But I left it alone. My short-term score, I did score lower. I took 1/4 point. So if you look here, short-term dropped. Volume stayed the same at 0. Volume stayed the same at 0. Major market dropped from 0.75 to 1/2. Sector rotation stayed the same. And the VIX dropped by 1/4 point for me. Some people went as much as a full 1/2 of a point. You can see the VIX it looks, my read on the VIX was, this is all one move. This didn't go up and then down and then up and then down. We can see that's just, this is to me is all one move. Now it's overbought. So from here, if it comes down and then it turns, well, that's a higher low. And that would be problematic because it still feels like there's escalation coming and we may, right? But But if right now we start to see the market turn bullish and this drops all the way back down to this old range, then I'll be like, oh, okay. That was just a little blip, and now we're back down here, and this could turn into a still bullish. So I did drop mine by 1/4 of a point, but I look at this and think, yeah, this could be setting up for a bullish market momentum move. We'll see if there's more behind that later. So ultimately, I'm a 4.5 by way of just asking the group. I believe the lowest I saw was a 4. And the highest was a 4.75, I think. Was anybody higher? Was anybody at a 5? I can't remember. I don't think so. All right, it's quiet out there. What do you guys think? Are you surprised by the bullish open? As we went through and talked about yesterday, when we kind of had a 1, 2, like one was the most bullish, 2 was kind of bullish, 3 was neutral, 4 was slightly selling, 5 was a big sell-off. I think I said 3. I think I put it somewhere in the middle. A couple of people said they thought it might dip a little more. A couple of people said it might be, I think, what we're seeing now. So okay. Let's get to the watch list. Okay. Apple. So I said Apple was close. I said it's on my list. Is it still? 100%. What is it doing? It's holding above the 50, right? The sellers are just kind of not really doing much. It's still the same consolidation, and it's just sitting, and we're waiting for the buyers to come. If they come, I definitely would be like, hey, look at this. Aflac flagging. We're on day 3. The sellers have control of the floor. How much control do they have? Can't see my screen. Oh, it did lost, didn't it? What the heck happened? It just popped off? The hell? How about now? Not better? I like the meme. Still no? Should be there now. Good now. Okay. I love that. That's nice, very dramatic. Aflac looks good. Amazon. So Amazon is just kind of popping around. If you happen to stay with it, this is getting you back in. If you got out, you might be thinking, is this setting up for another potential? We'll keep our eye on this for sure. AXP. Oh, the financials are fighting. Look at that. Up 2.25%. Bank of America is trying as well. There's banking. All the financials look good. Oh, look at this. Look at this. It doesn't quite have the Heiken Ashi. Something that looks like that at the end of the day, very likely. Oh man, Carrier just took off. So it may be BLDRs our only opportunity for industrial. Caterpillar trying to turn around. If you like that, that actually has some potential. All right, it is a higher low. So industrials. CL pulling back. Not yet. Chipotle, yes. Right? Costco, maybe. Carvana, close, maybe. Here's the Dow. It's got an inside day. Here's Fastenal trying to make a move. GBTC not looking so good. The Bitcoin, gold looking fine, but just kind of sitting. General Motors. Oh, General Motors is setting up. Google. I feel like there's going to maybe be a late trade this today. Confirming with today's recovery. Be aware if it comes this afternoon and you miss it, it's still valid for tomorrow. It's just the same type of parameters. Goldman setting up. Home Depot still right there knocking on the door. ICE, yeah, it's kind of didn't give us much, did it? IWM. It's stable, I guess. JP Morgan is trying to turn into a signal. KBH. There's viability in home builders. Maybe here in a yeah. I think this is viable. We got some financial that's viable, some industrial that's viable. Haven't seen really tech yet. Apple's setting up still, but let's see if there's more. Oh, look at Coca-Cola setting up consumer discretion or consumer staples. McDonald's, Meta, maybe. 3M, I like Coke better and CL better. We definitely have some financials that are setting up. What about Microsoft? Maybe. Micron. Someone like this one still seems to be at support. NASDAQ pulling back. Netflix. I mean, it's setting up. Netflix got to catch that one right move, it seems sometimes. NVIDIA, I think if you're going to do one, NVIDIA has a good setup. It's still holding well, like at this breakout point where we broke here. Came all the way back and tested, but NVIDIA is a leader. I think if things start going, there's some... Who's with me? Who thinks NVIDIA might have some potential this week? Out of financials. I like NVIDIA. I like Apple. PGR. Very nice setup. Very nice setup on PGR. So the insurers, some financials. And then what? Oh, hello. Aren't we glad we stayed in Palantir? Up 11%. Is that what that was the news getting picked up? I didn't even see it. Magnifique. Glad we didn't get shook. That'll pay off handsomely. I mean, you'll notice it's actually at or above its primary or its take profit target. So great time to lock in some gains at these, whatever your thought was for gains for your early amount, right? The big price still has some to go. You're saying, hey, this thing could move this up towards this 36 level. So, okay. Okay, Palantir. You magnificent bastard. QQQ. Sitting back. It's an inside day, though. Starts with an inside day. Here's RKT. Had a little bit of a false start, but now it hiccuped, and it's still a maybe in my opinion, I think. What do you guys think? RTX? I think we have some good-looking stuff. RTX looks good. Industrial, defensive, financial, a little bit of technology smattered in there. Okay, so we're 15 minutes in. Let's go take a little peek at the opening range. How are your trades that you held doing this morning? All up, Clint. Love it. Small profit so far. Okay. Well, I mean, look, it's good for us to reflect. It's good for us to reflect on, what we did, why we did it, what's helping, what's hurting, etc., etc. We know it's a long day. It's 16 minutes in. 6.5 hours. TSM had a nice gap up today. Let's go take a look. Just closed part at 250. Love it. Nice gain. Love it. Love it. UNP. UNP looks close. Right? UNP looks close. It's like right there. It's knocking. Add that to the industrials, USB. Add that to the financials. The dollar. Up a little bit. Nothing untoward. The VIX just kind of hanging out. Down from, last week's highs. But certainly still holding on to a bit of that vol. Walmart. Walmart is in a consolidation. That consumer defensive has prospects about it, right? Okay. Materials up 0.8. Communication services up 0.8. Energy up 0.4. Not much there. Financials almost 1%. Still strong. Industrials over 1%. A lot of strength in the industrials. Technology 1 3/4. That's even stronger. 1 1/3. Staples are only up less than 0.5%. They don't look super great right now, but everything's up except utilities. Utilities is just kind of flat. Healthcare setting up, looking strong. Consumer discretionary kind of sideways. Yeah. Okay. So we have some things that are moving. We have some things that are setting up and look to be moving. So I would say our 4.5 posture makes sense on the open. Little bit of caution in last week's numbers that are like, hey, we're not in some just ridiculously strong bull market that just runs and runs. There's concern blowing around right now. But certainly I would say that I feel like we have a good read on the market right now. It's bullish. Our posture, even though the posture pulled back a little bit, our posture maintained bullishness, and that's what we talked about. And we said it's that when it comes to support and resistance, we seem to be approaching and or holding a new support level, which means some things are already bouncing, some things are just starting to bounce now, some things are yet to bounce in that cycle, but that bounce seems to be the flavor of the day relative to maintaining a bullish market posture. Yeah, looks good. That's it. Let's talk about the trading plan. And simultaneously, I'm going to find my... So we're talking about routines. And I would develop them in this order. Start with your daily routine. If you don't have a real strong sense of what I do before the market opens... what was I looking for? Oh, I was looking for the filled out trading plan. Onboarding docs. Sample plan. I have one of them here, but it might not be the one. Let me see. Yeah, this isn't the as completed one. I'll have to pull up the other one later tomorrow. But this is okay. This is okay. So here's my routines. I have daily before the market open. Now I want you to notice what I'm writing in there. At what time? For how long? I'm doing this routine at 7 a.m. for 15 minutes. And what am I going to do? I'll show you tomorrow night. Maybe we'll do some trading plan. I'll show you the more robust version of this. This only has one thing that says check the futures. Oh, great. What else? There's got to be more. There is. Then I have during market hours. Around 10 a.m. for 15 to 20 minutes. This is my time, so that's around noon for the market. And I tend to come in for the last hour of the day. Not the entire thing always, but a good amount of it. Yes. Yes. And what do? On both of these, it's always this. First, evaluate any open trades. Where you have skin in the game is always the most important place for you to start a daily routine. We don't go like, hey, let's go see what's tradable. We go say, hey, what's happening with the trades I'm already in? That's most important. Then I have aftermarket close. When do I do it? And for how long? So you can see, oh, look, I'm doing this in an hour to an hour 15 daily. Spread over multiple routines. There you go. Now, if you spend 3 to 4 hours a day because you're reading and studying and developing systems, well, that's different. This is execution stuff. Aftermarket close. What do I do? You can see this one's a little bit more robust. That's what it should look like. I'm doing all of these things, monitoring my current trades for signals, reviewing my watch list for entries. I'm gonna complete market forecast routine. What? Review daily commentary, analyze market internals. What influenced traders today? Review any program. All right, so you can kind of see what I have on here. Do I have any newsletters or advisories? Continuing education. Weekly. I don't really have weekly, like with a time. It's sometime over the weekend. You might do some things here or there. So you might have like conduct market posture. Well, that's Sunday morning. Searching time, Sunday morning. Watch list fresh, Sunday morning. Watch list maintenance, Sunday morning. Trading log. That would be, after we're done. If there's any trades that weren't logged, I would update it. Sub watch list creation. Sometimes we do that together. Sometimes not so much. Next week's market, right? So these are the things that I'm doing on the weekend that are preparing me for the week, whether it's some back office record keeping, whether it's some analytical things, whether it's watch list maintenance, right? Everything that I do on Sunday makes it so that Monday morning when we show up with some coffee, it's not like we're like, oh, we better hurry and analyze and figure out what's going on. We already have a sense. That's my post market routine. So I have aftermarket hours where I just sort of process the day, prepare for the next day. That can be done at 4:01 p.m. Eastern. That could be done at 11 p.m. Eastern. As long as you kind of have your post market, what happened today? How did I do? What does it lead to tomorrow? What am I looking for? Right? That kind of a thing. Monthly, quarterly, yeah, that's where you start getting into like trading plan review, tax situations, right? Gathering tax documents potentially. You might get into goals where you're setting goals, managing goals. That's a good idea, Bob. Managing goals, adjusting, things like that are a little bit broader. That's what we're doing in more of those weekly, quarterly, annually. It's not like you're going to have some vast array of things you're going to do once a month that you don't do other times. There's literally just one or two things that you might do on a monthly, quarterly, or annual basis. But what is this moving us towards? It's a business. Treat it like a business. Just like, right, retail business has inventory once a week or once a month, and you have to do this. And there's some have to do's. There's some want to do's. Hopefully, some want to do's. Questions about Section 5. We can revisit this to some extent as we go through the week. Speaking of the rest of the week, normal week. So what do we have tonight? Happy hour, cocktail hour. What do we call it? Do we call it happy hour or cocktail hour? Cocktail hour? We potentially could have cocktails. We're definitely happy. Join me for the social meeting this evening at 8:30 p.m. Eastern, 6:30 p.m. Mountain, 5:30 if you're West Coast. Okay, I hope we're feeling pretty good. I mentioned I was going to change it to happy hour because some folks mentioned they don't. Okay, there you go. I should go do that. Maybe I'll do that here as soon as we end. That's all I have, everybody. It's good to see you. Let's have a great week. You know Notre Dame football where they they're in their locker room and then they leave and it says, "Play like a champion today," and they hit the sign as they go out. I envision us. This is our little room, and we're like breaking to leave and go out onto the field. I want you to envision a "Trade like a champion today" sign, and as we're wrapping up here, we're running out, we're taking the field. You're slapping that sign. Trade like a champion today. Champion means professor, no monkey, no chimp. That's what I want you thinking about. Let's make it a great week. See you guys tonight. If not, I'll see you tomorrow evening. As always, happy trading.